They're convicted child molesters, rapists, and sex offenders. Tonight, a joint News Channel 5 and Scripps Howard News Service investigation reveals how thousands are going underground, avoiding mandatory reporting laws aimed at keeping your child safe. On your side, Chief Investigator Ron Regan joins us tonight with some alarming findings. Ron?
Well, Danita, when sex offenders get out of prison, they're required to tell police where they're living. Well, it's not surprising that some don't. What is surprising is how many we found. More than 100,000 across the country. They're among the most vulnerable. But an exclusive 5 on your side investigation.
We've looked for vehicles, we've scouted out the residences.
Uncovered how tens of thousands of sex offenders are flying under the radar.
Very aggressive, hostile.
Leading secret lives.
They're hiding in a closet or hiding somewhere.
And making them even tougher for U.S. Marshals to track down. From the Center for Missing and Exploited Children in Washington.
Obviously, if they're missing for a reason. It's probably not a good reason.
To neighborhoods right here in Cleveland.
We want this guy taken in so he don't mess with babies no more.
We found that sex offenders are going to great lengths to avoid capture. For example, this public library in Cincinnati attracts lots of children.
Yes, I know, said Squirrel, follow me.
It also attracted 30-year-old Michael Anthony, a convicted child molester. Police found him with 3 stuffed animals under his jacket. And like many sex offenders, he was living a private, secret life.
This dude is probably the worst of the worst.
Lieutenant Alan Young is an undercover cop. Anthony was living here in the small town of Lisbon, Ohio, when he was arrested for molesting a 2-year-old.
I shudder to think that, perhaps he may have done this to other kids either before my investigation or since my investigation.
That's because Anthony and thousands of others are fugitives on the run. They're sex offenders who've served years in prison, but after release, never told police where they're living, as required by Ohio law.
They assume new identities, and they're really good at what they do.
Brian Fitzgibbons,
first target we're going after is George Smith.
Is a deputy U.S. Marshal.
Is wanted for failure to register for sex offense.
His unit tracks him down.
His original charge, rape, with a 20-year-old victim that he knew.
They're searching for this man.
5'9", 170, 53-year-old black male.
And we went along.
There's a threat at every door we go to.
And behind a door on this street.
Said it was the second house up here on the left.
They found their fugitive.
Guy answered the door. That was him. He was standing at the door when we rolled up, and he answered the door.
He joins a long list of others the task force has rounded up. We reviewed the U.S. Marshals database and found 846 fugitive sex offenders captured here in Ohio since 2006. Nationwide, the Marshals Service is on track to arrest more than 4,000 this year.
One of the scariest things about these fugitives is that they fit in any community.
In Cuyahoga County alone, more than 400 sex offenders have been prosecuted for failing to register.
It's part of the plan that they have. It's part of their lifestyle. They didn't want to register. They didn't want to be people to know who they are and where they are.
And that worries Dorothy Hargis. Her granddaughter was molested by a family member.
The first thing she said was that, is he going to be coming back? She would be afraid. You got to be looking over your shoulder.
And when sex offenders do not register, they leave thousands of families looking over their shoulders. Well, the good news tonight is that the Northeast Ohio Sex Offenders Task Force is among the best in the entire country at tracking down these fugitives. And you can log on to Newsnet5.com to search our interactive map, and you can find a special feature there that allows you to see who's busted in your neighborhood. I'm Chief Investigator Ron Regan.